It'd almost be irresponsible for me to not buy this one. This is the Apple Watch Ultra 2, and it costs $800. And due to the hefty price tag, it took me a while to figure out if I actually wanted to spend that money to upgrade from my Apple Watch Series 7. But when I found out I could actually get it for only $300, I had to jump on the deal. So I'll explain exactly how you might be able to take advantage of this deal at the end of the video. But for right now, I want to talk about the things that I like and the things that I dislike about upgrading from my older Apple Watch to this newer Apple Watch. And this isn't really going to be a review video. This is more of a, should I upgrade? Should I spend the money? How to get this good deal type of video. Let's look at the different options that you have. Okay, we'll start with the different choices. There's a satin black or there's a natural titanium. Okay, I decided to go with the satin black. I was really close to getting the natural titanium just because my old one was black. So like if I just went with black again, it would just kind of look the same as what I've had for the last 5 years or 4 years. And I was thinking about just mixing it up, but at the end of the day, I ended up choosing the black one. I do just really like the black color better. Then you get to pick the band. Okay, there's 4 different types of bands that you get to choose from. There's the Alpine loop, there's the Trail loop, there's the Ocean band, and there's the Milanese. Okay, so I went with the green Alpine band. It's lightweight, it's athletic, but it's secure. It's not silicone, it's like a fabric, but it is really nice. The Trail loop is a similar material, but it's actually a Velcro, so it's a little bit simpler to put on. You don't have to hook the thing through the loop. It's basically just a Velcro strap. The Ocean band is your more typical kind of silicone band that you might be used to with a G-Shock or almost any other, just your typical watch, right? You strap it through, got a whole bunch of little slits, you put that through, you put the little poker thing through the slit, boom, it's on. That was a great description, I know. And then the 4th option is the super duper fancy Milanese band. And honestly, this was the one that I wanted to get, but none of the places near me actually had this one in stock. You can buy it separately if you really want to. It's $200 if you buy it separately, or if you buy it with the watch itself, then it's only a $100 premium. Now that you picked out the option that you want, let's talk about what you'll actually see as a difference in your day-to-day experience. Now, this was my biggest concern with spending this much money on a new watch. The operating system is exactly the same. So the experience theoretically should be exactly the same. And so why would I spend $800 or $900 if you want the fancy band just to have the exact same experience that you had on your other watch? Okay, so there are a few things, and I do want to go over those. So the very first thing that you'll notice immediately when you turn on the watch and get to the home screen for the very first time is the brand new watch face. Okay, so if you're going to the Ultra or the Ultra 2, then you get the modular Ultra watch face. Now, this is something that's not available on any of the other Apple Watches. It basically just takes more advantage of the bigger screen and puts more information on it. So the next thing that you'll notice is actually what's showing you that new watch face, and that's the new display. So this is the brightest display, at least on the Ultra 2, it's the brightest display of any Apple Watch that they've put out. So it gets to 3000 nits. This compares to, if you look at the Ultra 1, it goes to 2000 nits. The Series 10 that just came out also goes to 2000 nits, but almost every other Apple Watch, at least going back to my Series 7, went to 1000 nits. So this thing is 3 times as bright as my original Series 7 that I had. The third thing that you're going to notice is the battery life. Now, this was by far the main reason that I decided to upgrade. Okay, my old Apple Watch was down to like 75% battery health. Like every morning I would put it on the charger and it wasn't able to make it 24 hours to get back to the next morning. Now, for a long time it was, even though Apple describes it as an 18-hour battery life, I was able to get through like, I don't know, 22 hours or something like that, and then put it on the charger, and then when I was done showering and getting ready in the morning, pull it off, and it would last the full cycle. This one, Apple has it rated for 36 hours of battery life. I feel like I'm going to be able to get better than that. It's only been like a day, so I can't completely vouch, but I pulled it off the charger at 6 a.m. this morning. It's now 9 p.m. at night, and the battery is still at 76%. My Series 7 would have been at like 30% by now, maybe 20%, and then died in the middle of the night. Okay, so battery life, easily a huge upgrade. You're going to love the battery life on this thing. And honestly, it reminds me almost as good as my original, my OG Samsung Galaxy Watch was. That thing was awesome. So those are really the kind of the main things that you'll notice. There's also some other things that are put into this watch, some other sensors and technology and things like that. The first one is that this thing has a depth sensor, temperature sensor, and it's rated down to 100 meters if you're going to go scuba diving. I don't dive. Do you dive? I don't know. It can tell you or notify you of potential sleep apnea, and it'll say, hey, you should probably go get tested at a sleep center, see if you actually have sleep apnea, and hopefully you don't. The next one is double tap. So it's got this thing where you just touch your fingers together like this, and like it's rotating through, I don't know if you could see that, but it's rotating through different screens as I just tap my fingers together. So that's called double tap. And to be totally honest, this is probably a very useful feature. I just don't use it. I haven't used it. It's only been a couple days. So I'm just like used to doing everything the way that I did before I had that feature. So I don't know, maybe over time I'll get used to it and it'll become like a really cool, useful thing. It is kind of impressive just like how it, like if the watch is on, like it's pretty responsive actually. Kind of surprised. So it's actually pretty damn good. I just don't really know what I would use it for. So there's that one. That's actually potentially something to think about. Another one is Precision Find My iPhone, where it's got some fancy ultra millimeter wave sensor in it. And if you lose your iPhone, you push the button and it'll literally like direct you to the iPhone, and it'll say, you know, go left, go right, whatever. That's cool, I guess, but all the Apple Watches going all the way back till whenever have that ping button. So you just click the ping button, your iPhone makes a noise. You don't have to like get directed to it. You literally just listen to the noise, go find it. So that it's cool, but again, I don't see a huge use for it. And then the last one is that it has 64 gigabytes of storage. Cool. On my Series 7, I had 32 gigabytes. And I think on all the other Apple Watches, it has 32 gigabytes. I never even got close to filling that up. This thing has cellular, so you don't need to download everything to it. So again, cool, but not really needed. All those things are, and I'm sure there's other things too, like I said, but these are kind of the main ones that are, you know, promoted and featured and all that. And they're nice, but I would never pay $800 or $900 to upgrade for any one of these things. Why did I decide to upgrade? Well, really, there's only one reason for that. And that's because I was able to get $500 trade-in credit, which makes the $800 watch a $300 watch, which is actually cheaper than the newest Series 10. So if you really wanted to, you could trade in with the deal that I'll talk about in a second, but you can trade in virtually any Apple Watch and get the brand new Series 10 and not have to pay for it, right? You'll have to pay for sales tax and you'd have to pay for an activation fee or whatever, but you're not paying for the watch itself. So you can get a free Apple Watch Series 10, basically, if you have, I think, any working Apple Watch. I mean, out of the Series 7, they gave me the full deal. I was in there with somebody at the place, and they had a Series, I think it was 4, and they got the $500. You may be asking, well, how is this possible? And honestly, it's a pretty simple answer, and the answer is Verizon. Okay, right now, I don't know how long it's going to go on for, but right now, Verizon Wireless is overpaying for trade-ins for like every device, and especially Apple Watches. So they'll give you $500 credit, and I do have to say that's not without caveats though. There's two main caveats here. The first one is probably pretty obvious. You do actually have to be on Verizon or switching to Verizon, and that may or may not be a good idea for your situation, depending on your carrier and your current plan and your deals and all that stuff. May not work out for you. But probably the bigger caveat that most of you may be aware of if you've heard of this deal, and if you haven't, you should know the fine print here, which is you don't get the $500 credit all in one big chunk up front, right? So you don't buy the watch, get $500, and just pay $300 out of pocket. What ends up happening is you're making an agreement with Verizon that they will give you 36 monthly payments, monthly credits, I guess you would call it, of $13.89, which if you take that out over 36 months, it's $500. So for you math whizzes out there, yes, that's 3 years. So really what Verizon is doing here is they're just getting their hooks in you and committing you for 3 years of Verizon. The thing is, if you either decide to upgrade early or if you leave Verizon, then you just essentially have to pay in full what would have been remaining, right, to pay the device off in full. So this really only makes sense if you plan on being a longtime Verizon customer. Additionally, one thing that, so basically you could either pay up front for the watch and get payments over 36 months, or what I think probably makes the most sense for most people is if you're going to be getting those payments over 3 years anyway, Verizon will let you finance the device for 36 months as well. So for 0% interest. So you're basically just paying for the device and getting a credit on over half of what that payment would have been. So it would have been $22 or whatever. Now I'm paying $8 a month. It just gets added to my Verizon bill, right? That's not $8 a month. I'm not going to see that. That's just going to disappear. One thing that's interesting about the Ultra watches is if the rumors are true, these are going to be on a 2-year cycle anyway. And so there wasn't any updates, any significant updates to the release back in September. The only thing, it was black, right? They came out with a new black one, but the whole device was basically the same thing. The actual Ultra 2 came out 2 years ago. The only things with the Ultra 3 that are really expected is the blood pressure tracking, which nobody really knows if that's truly going to come. And the other thing I would assume is going to come is they'll somehow use that, wide angle OLED display that's in the Series 10. I'm sure that they'll incorporate that into the Ultra 3. So it'll have a better screen and potentially blood pressure tracking. But other than that, I don't really need that. This thing is going to be good enough for 3 years. So I think that's it. This turned into a longer video than I wanted it to be, but I do think it's important to keep in mind what the options are out there, and if you can get a really good deal on a really good watch like this, then it's probably worth it. And if nothing else, you're getting paid $500. Sure, it's spread out over 3 years, but you're getting paid $500 for a watch that's probably worth $100 right now. At least for me, it was the Series 7, right? It might even be, if you have an older one, it might even be less. So it'd almost be irresponsible. This is how I'm justifying it in myself. It would be irresponsible for me to not buy this one because I'm getting $400 for free. Let's just go with that. That's all I got for this video. If you're still sticking around after all this, one of two things is happening. You're either extremely committed or this video is just playing on one screen and you're doing something completely different on the other one. But in either of those cases, just hit that like button, subscribe button. It'd be much appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.